Hello there, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining me on my live. Today, I'm going to be covering a place that I've frequented quite a bit, certainly through COVID. Like I say, from 2020 to 2023, I went year by year. It's a place that's dear to my heart. It's a beautiful island. As I say, it's the largest of the seven Ionian Islands. And it's blessed with several green paths, exotic beaches, crystal waters, rich forests. And it's a typical Greek vacation, and I love the island. The island's traditional character, and it's got friendly atmosphere. As I say, I've been there 4 times, and I will go through and I will touch on the places that I stayed at. And as I say, this is an interactive chat. As I say, this live is focused on about me, so it will be all about me. So it's literally just my experiences through the lenses of my eyes. So, like I want to do first, I just want to go through and greet everyone in the chat, as always. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for coming. I always appreciate it. There he is, the main man himself, Mr. Tommy Stiggs. Thank you, sir. Dave T, good to see you. A pleasure as always. Thank you. Janie, good to see you. Thank you. Krumel, good to see you, my man. Thank you, sir. And also as well, the best of the best. Tindu, glad you came. Thank you. As well, my main man, Kid Rock, good to see you, sir. So, like us to do, I will say, like we normally do, hello, Maury. I've got a few more coming in. That's good. So, I don't expect, obviously, us to have any aggro, but wrenches, like I say, if anyone comes in playing up, you know what to do. Good stuff. Right. So I've got quite a bit of information that I want to get through. I want to kick off. First and foremost, so thank you. As I say, please enjoy it. If you can, be patient. What I will do as well is I will stop, and if anyone has any questions, that would be great. Obviously, I understand that maybe not many of you have been there to this Greek island or to the Greek islands, full stop. But please feel free to be inquisitive. So I'm going to start off with a bit of the history. So the island, okay, I've put together some illustrations. So I'm going to share my screen, so you don't have to keep looking at me, and you could hopefully get an idea. There you go. There's a map there, obviously, for you to have a look at. So the island owes its name to Kefalos. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of history here. The first king of the area. Now, according to the locals, Kefalos was founded the 4 main cities on the island, which were Sami, Valley, Crani, and Pronoi. And then he named them areas after his sons. Okay, now this explains why the island was called Tetrapolis, which is the 4 towns during this period. Now, these 4 cities were autonomous, independent, had their own regimes and coins. Now, the Mycenaean culture left a strong remain in Kefalonia with the Cyclopean walls. So you can see certain patterns in like a lot of these islands in the Mediterranean. Sicily, for example, they have had their history. So in ancient times, Kefalonia participated in the Persian and Peloponnesian wars on the side of both Athens and Sparta. Now, Philip of Macedonia tried to attack the island in 218 BC, and thanks to the help of the Athenians, they managed to defeat him. Now, the Romans took the island in 187 BC after months of fighting against the resistance of the island's inhabitants at the time. The ancient Acropolis of Sami was destroyed, and the Romans used the island as a strategic spot that would have helped them conquer the mainland. They therefore turned to Kefalonia as a naval base during this period, and the island suffered heavily and frequently from invaders and pirate raids. So just getting through to a bit of the backdrop of the island. So during the medieval times, the threat of pirates continued growing during the Byzantine period, which was around the 4th century. And the most dangerous pirates were the Saracens. In the 11th century, the island fell under Frankish rule. And it was the end of the Byzantine era, and Kefalonia was then consecutively conquered by the Normans, the Orsinians, the Adians, and the Tokens. Now, the first Turkish attack was made by the famous Ahmed Pasha in 1418. Pasha and his troops ruled the island for a short period of time and devastated the island when they left. Now, following the destiny of the rest of the Ionian Islands, Kefalonia came under domination of the Venetians and the Spanish. So, now the political and military centres of the island during this period were the fortress of St. George and the castle of Assos, which was destroyed by an earthquake in 1757. Now, in those times, many locals left the island in search of a better life in the sea, including the famous seafarer Jean de Fuca. Now, the capital moved to Argostoli and is still there today. And during the Venetian domination, the atmosphere was quite conflicted because the island's society was divided into 3 classes. The noble class, the wealthiest and the more powerful, had all the privileges and used them against the other social classes. Now, the Venetian rule ended in 1797 with the arrival of the French, who were warmly welcomed by the inhabitants of Napoleon, promised to liberate them and the rest of the Ionian Islands from the oligarchic system created by the Venetians. Now, the French publicly burnt the Golden Book, where the names of privileges of the nobles were written. The French were later defeated by the allied fleet of the Russians, the Turks, and the English. Now, the Ionian state was founded in Constantinople in 1800 and was under the supervision of the Sultan. Now, the nobles of the island regained their privileges. So in recent times, then, after the huge popular demand, democratic elections were organised in 1802, a new constitution was established in 1803, and the island fell again under French domination in 1807, but the new constitution was maintained. After the Treaty of Paris in 1809, the Ionian Island came under the rule of the English and the Ionian state was established. During the English period, various important constructions of public interest were infatuated, including the Darpanos British Cemetery and the Deposit Bridge in Argostoli and the lighthouse of St. Theodoroi and the impressive municipal theatre of Kefalonia. Now, despite the fact under the Kefalonian remained under English rule and escaped the Turkish yoke, its inhabitants finally helped the Greek Revolution for independence against the Ottomans, who were ruling over the rest of Greece. Kefalonia was finally united with the rest of the independent Greece in 1864, the same time as the rest of the Ionian Islands. Now, during the Second World War in 1941, the island was occupied by the Italian troops, which were allied with the Nazis. In 1943, Italy capitulated, but its troops refused to leave Kefalonia. As a punishment, the German forces killed more than 5,000 Italian soldiers, a historic fact described in the famous book Captain Corelli's Mandolin, written by Louis Benares. So also Kefalonia has its own problems as well in regards to earthquakes. In August 1953, a huge earthquake destroyed the largest part of Kefalonia and demolished most villages of the island. Only Fiscardo was not touched by the earthquake, but the villages in the central and southern parts of Kefalonia were almost entirely destroyed. Now, Lixouri was the town most affected by the earthquake, which was why the majority of the houses there are newly constructed. So there's a bit of history there. I didn't want to make it too long for you, but now I'm going to start going around certain places in the island and all these places that I've been to. So first off, this is one of the most iconic beaches there, and this is Myrtos Beach, and it's in the region of Paleros in the northwestern of Kefalonia Island in the Ionian Sea of Greece. Myrtos Beach lies between the feet of the two mountains Agia Donati and Kalon Oros. Now, the surrounding sediment of Myrtos Beach is generally made up of marble material and metamorphized limestone. Now, the beach is made up of round white cobblestones. The sediment gradually becomes smaller as you approach the shoreline, though, but because the stop angle has an abrupt drop near the edge of the shoreline, the wave energy is very high and causes graduation trends from cobbles to pebbles along the beach. So the longshore drift along with the wave energy has helped shape the shore. As waves curve along the beach, they also picked up the finest bits of marble. This creates sediment plumes and follow the curve of the beach with the direction of the waves, giving the water a shade of turquoise. It's one of those fantastic views. Up near where that beach is, you can see the mountain, and like the roads, they wind round, and they've got little stop-off points, and you can just look over and just look at that sea. It's beautiful. Now, it was used as a location in the Nicolas Cage. He did the film Captain Corelli's Mandolin, and that was the location of where the mine explosion happened. It is, Dave. It really is. It's a pleasure seeing it. Now, like I say, the beach is set at the base of a very steep road surrounded by the mountains in a curved bay, strip of pebble and sand beach with up to 50 metres wide in places. Now, the beach is about 600 metres long, with the central part being used by swimmers. Okay. So the next one, Patani Beach. Now, this is another lovely beach I went to. Like I say, it's recognised for its great beauty, and many visitors comparing it as a smaller version of Myrtos. It's a blue flag beach. A favourite activity is evening swimming before watching changing colours on the sea as the sun sets in the west. Okay. No, unfortunately not. No, I'm not there now. Now, as I say, the beach slopes quickly away so that one can only go out a short distance from the shoreline. The steep surrounding hillsides at Patani Beach are made up mainly of local limestone covered by bush undergrowth. A steep winding hairpin bend but well-made road leads down to the bench area. There's no public transport to the beach. Hello there, Jay Money. I've got thank you for coming to this live. I really appreciate that. Hello there, Slimony. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. So the next one, this is Vuti Beach. Been there too. Beautiful as well. It's located in the western side of Agia Karaki Gulf. Now, the Vuti Beach consists of two inlets that follow one another. The two beaches are separated by large rocks and an impressive sight. One of the two beaches is organised where you can rent a sunbed, if you like. Stunning colours of the sea blend with golden colours and sand, creating a breathtaking, exotic setting. Okay. Now, this is Poros. Poros is a town. It does have its own beach. It's quite inhabited with where more the locals are. So basically, Poros is effectively divided in three parts. You've got Poros Port with its couple of tavernas and bars, connects the island with Kefalonia and the Peloponnese area of the mainland Greece via a regular all-round year ferry. During the summer months, the ferry may connect Poros and Zakynthos and a couple of other tourist capes, or offer cruises to Ithaca and the Blue Caves of Zakynthos. Okay. Now, the Vahinas almost certainly gave Poros its name. The word Poros in Greek means ford or crossing. And where the Vahinas enters the sea is the only natural crossing point. Although two bridges now cross the river further upstream, where the Vahinas exits the impressive Poros Gorge, an 80-metre deep, rugged ravine, which until a road was cut through a scala around about 1996, was the only land route out of Poros. Local legend has it that the gorge was cut by Hercules when he stood on and flattened this part of the mountain. Hello, Delilah. Thank you for coming. Always a pleasure. Now, another local legend concerns the large rocks just off the beach, Poros and Scala. Apparently, these were thrown at early invaders by the Cyclops. The coastline on the other side of Poros, facing Ithaca is one of the largest refuges of the endangered Mediterranean monk seal. Now, just out of Poros Gorge, a rough circular track leads to the Atros Monastery, the oldest on Kefalonia, with impressive views across Poros. Further along is another track leading to the Mycenaean tomb of Zanta. Now, archaeological finds from the Dracana cave in the beautiful Gorge of Poros, which was excavated in recent years, confirm human habitation in Poros since 5,700 BC. Interesting finds brought to light, tools made of stone and bone and figurines, pottery, tell us a good deal about the cave and the prehistoric and historic times. And it finds from the classical period indicate that the cave was associated with the cult of nymphs. Now, the name Dracana, she-dragon, refers to the local legend of the dragon that lived in the Gorge of Poros. In the popular imagination, certain marks in the rocks on the side of the gorge were believed to be the dragon's footprints. Now, the area around Poros was certainly inhabited during the period of the Mycenaean, which was all-powerful evidence, but by the discovery in 1991 of a tholos, which is a beehive tomb in the nearby Tazanta. Now, the size of the tomb, the nature of the burial offerings found there were a well-chosen position point of the existence of the importance of the Mycenaean town in the vicinity. Now, in the Archaeological Museum of Argostelli, one can admire the major findings of the tholos tomb, like the golden bull horns, a golden double axe, and engraved seals of precious stone. Now, although other tombs from the Mycenaean period have been found on the island, notably the Mazaracata and the Lakithra, the Tazanta tomb is the most impressive yet to be discovered on Kefalonia and Ithaca. Hello there, Suzanne. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Good stuff. Crewbell, thank you, sir. Okay. Now, during the classical period, Poros was probably the port of the city of Proni, a day pasture. Okay. Now, successive occupiers, Romans, Franks, Venetians, Italians, French, Russians, Turks, and very briefly was the British until 1834, controlled Kefalonia, and under the governmentship of Sir Charles Napier, settlers from Malta were relocated into the fertile area around Poros in an attempt to implement a model agricultural settlement and repopulate this part of the island. However, the plan did not work, and Poros remained no more than a small cluster of fishermen huts until 1953. Now, when people built new homes there following the earthquake, which devastated in surrounding villages, establishing Poros as a village community and subsequently an important port of the island. Now, next up is Lassie. Now, I've stayed up sort of up on the hillside. This was on my first trip. Lassie is sort of very tourist dominated, and it's, just to give you an insight, it's a small little charming tourist village, and it's just behind the capital of the Kefalonia Island, which is Argostelli. Now, the village of Lassie is developed in the front of the sea. It's surrounded by a couple of hills and has never had a massive development, keeping the tourist building hidden in the Mediterranean nature. Now, even if the town is placed in a lovely and relaxing area, it's very well organised to offer any kind of services and amusements. On Kefalonia Island, Lassie is one of the best developed tourist centres, and it offers a great combination, as I say, of clean, beautiful sea and tourist attractions. Lassie, with its amazing sunsets, represents the ideal choice for couples, groups of friends, and families and children. And the area of Kefalonia is really easy to reach from both port and airport. And as I say, it's 3 kilometres from the airport itself in Argostelli. Now, Kefalonia has over 60 beaches, and it's you're spoiled for choice. So if you love the beaches, it's certainly the place for you. Now, Lassie, it's really stunning. You can find several bay and small coves that give you the opportunity to have your privacy and swim in very clear sea. Now, Argostelli. I put together these pictures. You can see this in this far one on the right-hand side of the screen. It's famous for its turtles. Now, Argostelli is a town in the municipality of the island of Kefalonia, Ionian Islands. Now, since 2019, the local government it is one of the three of the island, and it has been the capital and administrative centre of Kefalonia since 1757. Now, following a population shift down from the old capital of Agios Georgios, also known as Castro, it uses it to take advantage of trading opportunities provided by the shelter upon the Argostoli sits. Now, Argostoli developed into one of the busiest ports in Greece, leading to the prosperity and growth, and has an area of 377 kilometres squared. Okay, and it has its beach, which is the Maestrata Beach, to the east of Argostoli, at the end of the bay, beneath the aforementioned castle of St. George, sits the Koutavos Lagoon, a feeding group with the loghead turtles, as you see in the picture. Now a nature reserve, the Koutavos Lagoon was once an almost impassable swamp where mosquitoes and malaria were rife. During the period of the British occupation of the Ionian Island, Kefalonia's Governor General Sir Charles James Napier constructed a wooden bridge across the lagoon. This was well done in 1813 by Colonel Charles Philip de Bosset, a Swiss engineer in the employ of the British Army. Now, 4 years later, stone arches were added, and after some 26 years, the entire bridge was rebuilt in stone. Now, it continuously used until 2005. The narrow bridge is now closed to traffic, and it's currently undergoing renovation by the Greek Ministry of Culture. Almost halfway along the Deposit Bridge stands a stone column built by the British to celebrate their presence. Now, the coastal road out of Argostoli to the west was known during the Venetian period as the Piccolo Gyro. Now, along the Piccolo Gyro in the Veluca facing Lixori lie the swallow holes of Kefalonia, a geological phenomenon. Seawater disappears underground and travels under the island, re-emerging around 14 days later in the Karavimilos area of Sami. Having passed through the nearby underground Melisani Lake, the power of the seawater was harnessed in 1835 to a water mill. Further along the Piccolo Gyro, the Aegean Theodoron Lighthouse, named after the small adjacent church, more commonly known as the Fenari Lighthouse. This too was built during the British occupation in 1829. Now, the original building was destroyed in the earthquake in 1953. The recently restored present structure was rebuilt, complete with the Doric style columns from the original plans. So I'm just going to take this opportunity now just to catch up with the chat. Okay. I'm having a look here. Okay, yeah, the water is such a beautiful shade of blue. It's fantastic, Delilah. I just want to find out, does anyone have any questions at all just at this point? Suzanne, always good to see you. Are those Kobe in the middle of the photo? Oh, right, sorry, Dave, that's probably the previous photo, yes. Okay, Delilah, I saw one that size at the zoo. You followed me when I walked by the glass. Yeah, they're fantastic creatures, I must admit. So let's go on. And now Assos village is a village on the west coast of the island of Kefalonia, and it's located 36 kilometers off from Argostoli. Assos was founded under the Venetian rule, and it served as the administrative capital of northern Kefalonia from 1593 onwards. Marino Gentilini, an Italian army engineer, was commissioned by the Venetian Senate in 1593 to 1595 to build the Assos Castle, one of the largest in Greece. The castle was initially built with the view that it would protect local populations in case of an invading attack by passing Turks or pirates. But for various reasons, such as the lack of natural springs and water supply, it was never adopted as a fortress, and gradually the grand plan was dropped. Okay, so this is basically, it's like a little cove, a little fishing village. This is probably not the best photo. It's just I picked this photo because it's got me in it, but you could check it out. It's a lovely little place. Okay, so next up, Sammy. Now, I stayed here on my third trip in 2023. I really enjoyed this place, to be fair. It was kind of away, it felt away from the sort of touristy places like Scala and Lassie. And it was kind of just out the way. It had everything that I wanted at the time, you know. So nature has it's been very generous to the area of Sami, as the location is surrounded by lush vegetation, underground caves, and beautiful lakes. In Sami, the green of the trees touches the white of the island and the blue of the sea, offering stunning sceneries like those in the Hollywood film Captain Corelli's Mandolin, which was filmed in the town of Sami and on the neighbouring beaches. Now, the town used to be one of four major towns which formed the Kefalonian Tetrapolis in the ancient times. It has been inhabited since the prehistoric age, and nowadays it is a safe port for domestic and foreign ferries. Sami combines its rich history background and beautiful nature, and so it's a top-notch destination for all kinds of travellers. Now, on the top of the hill, the ancient ruins show that Sami was well organised and a flourishing town. It was the only town on Kefalonia to resist the Romans who wanted to occupy Sami because of the strategic location. Now, here lie the ruins of the ancient castle, Palio Castro, and the Acropolis of Caetus. Now, the convent of Agoi Thanatoi is also located in Sami and is well worth a visit if you'd like to become more acquainted with Greek Orthodox churches and their treasures. You also have another convent on the top of the hill, and that is the Argyrilis convent, which was named after the surrounding trees. Now, as I say, from here you can enjoy some more spectacular views of the Bay of Sami and Ithaca. Thank you, Tindu. The food is fantastic. I will touch on that a little bit later on, Kid Rock. Yeah, okay. So Sami is a lively town, in which it provides all kinds of facilities. If you decide to stay in Sami, then you don't really have to go anywhere, to be fair, because it's got it all there. And if you like the beach holidays, as I say, Sami's got some good beaches as well. It's got Anti-Samos, which is a stony beach. And you've got Anti-Samos was actually where one of the beaches where Captain Corelli's Mandolin was filmed. So at this point, I just want a couple of videos. I just want to show you Sami by day and at night. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to check the chat before I go. Yeah, as I say, it's good. Yeah, brilliant, Kid Rock. Thank you. Yeah, it's there at Augustoli, sorry. Are the two places that if you want a little bit. It's not obviously it's a quiet island and it's not renowned for partying, but if you wanted a bit of music and a few drinks, Sami and Augustoli. Okay, now you probably see in the next picture is the Melisani Cave. Now, it's at the centre, located in the island of Kefalonia. It's northwest of Sami, and it's about 5 kilometres from Agia Efima, northeast of Augustoli and the northwest of Poros. The sinkhole resulting in when a collapse of limestone bedrock exposes the groundwater, and in 1953, creating the Seno. Now, the Ionian Sea lies to the east of the Strait of Ithaca, forest surrounding the cave and the mountain slope in the west. Now, near the cave is the entry to the cave there's parking, and it's past almost in the middle of the main road. And it's linking Sami and Agia Ephima, especially to the northern part of the island. So basically, what this is there, you can see in the picture, is that you've got boats going round. They literally just take you round, and you can actually, it's just like a lagoon, just sort of sunk in a cave. But if you like that sort of thing, some of the people that I went with don't like being in caves and dark corners, but it just gives you a really good eye and understanding of nature. Okay, surviving together here. Okay, so like in Greek mythology, Melisani was the cave of the nymphs. Okay, and it's features a lake surrounded with trees and forests that is located in the mountains of either Morphea and Agia Dinati. Tourism is common, and the lake's bottom is covered with stones. Plants grow at the opening of the cave, and the colour of the stone near the opening in stucco to honey-like brown. The cave was rediscovered in 1951. It's not too long though, Suzanne. It's only like a 20-minute boat trip. But so next up, okay, Agia Ephima. Now I love this little place, and it was on my third trip that I started to really like this place, just because it was away from everything, sort of therapeutic. I got my headspace. Now it's Agia Ephima is a village on the east coast of the island of Kefalonia, and it was the seat of the former Pelaros municipality, and it's a traditional fishing village centred on a small harbour, and it contains a number of taverns, bars and shops, a traditional wood-fired bakery, as well as tourist accommodation and local residents. Now, the main activity in the village is now sort of centred around tourism, and the harbour is popular with sailing holidays, and is the home to the flotilla sailing groups. Many of the old buildings in Agia Ephima were destroyed in the 1953 earthquake, although a few buildings did survive. The next one is Sovranita, okay, is a serene village in the southwest of Kefalonia, and it's 9 kilometres from Argostoli and very close to the village of Lassi. Even though it is known for its close proximity to the airport, it's a peaceful and picturesque place ideal for quiet holidays. It has been named after Coronel Savonos, who fought in Macedonia, Greece in 1912. It was one of the few villages in Kefalonia where you could admire the traditional architecture in the way it used to be before the devastating earthquake. Now, it's quite a flat region, perfect for long walks and in the winding and narrow streets. Have a walk in the early evening, and you can enjoy the colourful gardens and lovely scents from all sorts of flowers. Now, it has been developed for tourists, but it has retained its glory on its past and traditional identity. Therefore, you will come across elements of old art and local blacksmiths, those certain kind of things. There we go. My main man as well, he's back. ALV, good to see you. Now, the next up, Spartia. Now, this is a small village with narrow streets, spreading trees and flower shrubs. Not so numerous little houses, but it's surrounded by greenery and flowers. It's got typical Kefalonian properties, cottages and hotels, perfectly coexist next door to each other. It's a lovely little place. And when I was on my first trip down there in the beach, there was like a load of little baby turtles that were washed up on the sand. That was a good memory. So the next one. Oh, Gianni. Good to see you, my man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, you've got in Spartia, you've got Spartia Beach and Tamanti. But now next up, we have Caravados. Now, it's a pocket-sized village in the south of Kefalonia, anchored among pine forests and citrus groves. It has all the mainstays of a typical green town, including rustic houses with cheerful gardens, an ox blood red church, and a couple of tiny tavernas. While mountains lie to the north, a pancake flat plain rolls out for a mile to the coast. Here you'll find a couple of beaches and views right across to Zante. Now, next up is we've got its mountain, Mount Anos. It's the tallest mountain on the Ionian island of Kefalonia, with an elevation of 1,628 meters. The bedrock is predominantly dolomite and limestone of Cretaceous ages. Most of the mountain range is designed as a national park area and is covered with Greek fir and black pines. Pine forests are found between the elevations of about 700 to 1,200 meters. Semi-wild ponies inhabit the forest on clear days, and the view includes the northwest of the Peloponnese and the Aetolia, along with the island of Lefkada, Ithaca, and Zakynthos. What are the to be fair, Dave, it doesn't get humid because it's a small island. It's actually a nice dry heat. It won't be like down in Florida, so it is good. I mean, I've been in there at the peak of the summer when I was in the next place, which I'm going to touch on, which is Laudata, and that was I think that was something like 40. Okay. By the way, we work in Fahrenheit. So next up is Laudas. Now, so stayed here on my second time, as I mentioned. This is good. Lovely beach. Got a few bars and restaurants down on the seafront, but you've also got restaurants and hotels and places to stay, sort of lodged in the mountain or hillside, should I say. What I will say this though, I do recommend if you don't like walking or you can't do hills, this is probably not the place. But Laudas is a quaint coastal settlement. It's located about 16 kilometres southeast of Argostoli, and the settlement stands on the hillside overlooking the blue sea. And it's quite popular for its well-organised beach, where many visitors enjoy a refreshing swim right after their arrival to the village. Now, the beach of Laudas is surrounded by a green landscape with thick vegetation and beautiful waterfalls running through the mountains. Now, the combination of the crystalline waters and the stunning mountain backdrop of Mount Anos provides a dream scenery that captivates all visitors. Now, the beach is covered with white sand and sunbeds and umbrellas, and it's not far from the coast lies the monastery of Sisia. And right above lies a main road, as I say, filled with restaurants, cafes, local shops, and modern amenities. Next up is a small fishing village, Katilios. This is fantastic. If you are a seafood buff, this strip, you can see on the right-hand side, this is giving a view out to the sea. But if you're looking up the road, it's just like a chain of fish restaurants. So if you love your fish, definitely Suzanne, get caught smuggling baby turtles internationally. Oh. Now, as I say, it's 32 kilometres away from Argostoli, Katilios. 2 decades ago, in the village, there were only fishermen who had their cottages and huts there. Gradually, it became much more popular, initially among the residents of Argostoli, who choose Katilios for their short excursions because of its local tavernas and delicious seafood. Since then, it's been a significant tourist development, and although Katilios remains a quite peaceful destination, it's ideal for nature lovers, those seeking relaxation. Next up is Scala town. This is where I stayed on my 4th time. Scala is predominantly a tourist area. It's where a lot of the tourists go. It's a beautiful resort. It's 36 kilometres southeast of Argostoli and only 12 kilometres away from Poros. And they estimate it's probably not quite now, but it was 800 inhabitants, most of whom were involved in fishing and agriculture. The settlement was built after the major earthquake in 1953 that destroyed the ancient village of Scala. The ruins of old Scala still survive today. Now, Scala stands out with its natural beauty and unspoiled green landscape, as well as crystalline waters and stunning coves. And the long beaches located above the settlement, surrounded by lovely pine trees and forests of rock formations. And the village reveals ruins of a Roman villa with magnificent mosaic floors dating back to the 2nd century BC. Now, being the largest resort in the southern part of Kefalonia, Scala welcomes hordes of tourists, Greek travellers every summer who wish to spend pleasant and relaxing holidays. Scala is quite developed now, featuring tourist facilities, water sports centres, and is, as I say, is a much preferred destination for the summer. Okay, let me just check the chat. Did I miss anyone? Okay. Maureen, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Now, next up, we've got Lizori. Now, Lizori is a town in the island of Kefalonia. Okay, let me just get that on there. And it's the largest of the Ionian Islands of Western Greece, and it is the main town of the peninsula of the Peliki, and the second largest town in Kefalonia after Argostoli and before Sami, and it is located south of Viscardo and west of Argostoli. Now, the history of it, Lixori was founded when citizens of the ancient town of Pau and Pali found a new location suitable for inhabitation. The new town was named after Peleus and Peleus, one of the 4 sons of the mythical king Kephalos. Now, the old city was abandoned completely by the 16th century, but some ancient ruins can still be seen north of the town. The oldest document, which contains the name Lixori, was sent in 1534 by local authorities to the Senate of Venice, and in the 19th century, Lixori was a popular tourist destination. Now, many houses were destroyed in the quakes in 1867 and in August in 1953. Now, in the early 1950s, the royal family of Greece sent their children there for the summer holidays in Lixori. And in the 1990s, Lixori increased the popularity as a tourist destination, and some larger hotels were built south of the town near the beaches. So that's basically what I wanted to. I know Kid Rock wants me to touch on the food, which I will do. But what I'm going to do now is just play you. I'm going to give you so you can get like a bird's eye view of these places in Kefalonia. Hello, Paulie. Good, Paulie. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Good stuff. Okay, Kid Rock. Well, I'll touch on the food. You're gonna have to forgive some of my pronunciations of the Greek words, but you know, with Kefalonia, during all day and all night, that you can get this marvelous smell of food that fills the streets and will take you for sure into a traditional restaurant. Now, the Greek and Kefalonia cuisine is dominated by local products as meat, fish, olive oil, vegetables, and cheese that will surprise you. Okay, so I'm just going to go through. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Now, the Greek starters generally, you've got what they tend to have is things like taramasalada, tzatziki, creams that sort of made up like eggplants, eggfish, and yogurt and garlic and cucumber. You also generally as well, they have a lot of salads. Now you've got the horitaki. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but that's a beautiful salad, and they really do love their salads. That's prepared with tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, peppers, bits of cheese, black olives. Your meats as well. You've got your souvlaka, okay, meat sticks, the stefano, which is like film cooked with onions and tomato sauce. And you have your things like the giavezzi, which is a lamb cooked in a large pot with rice. You've got traditional dishes as well that prepare with minced meat, and the bifteki, which is like a big meatball filled with cheese, onions and peppers and then grilled. You've got your masakas, as I mentioned as well. Typical recipe as well for the Kefalonia Island is the meat pie. Funny enough, you've got it's called the Kriya Topita, which is a baked pastry stuffed with mutton, pork, and beef. Okay, fish as well. Cod with agliada, which is a sauce made of boiled potatoes grinded in a mortar with garlic, olive oil, and lemon. Local cheeses. Okay, you've got the Manuri and the Kefalotori, which is a hard paste cheese, as well as feta, which is the Greek cheese. Another sort of well-known meal is the pizza gyros, which sort of has chips, and it's usually filled with like pork or chicken. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you, or just want to give you all a chance now to ask any questions. Okay. So I'm going to, also I do like to do that because I'm a fair person. I'm going to drop the link. Yeah, Gianni, I love lamb gyros, but I've got to watch them now. It's the sauces in them. The weight gainer. I'll put the link there if anyone wants to come up to the panel. You don't have to if you don't want to. But as I say, it's there just to ask questions. As I say, I hope that's given you all a good little insight into Kefalonia. But please, as I say, feel free. Okay. Mykonos, Suzanne, that's over the other side. That's in the Aegean Sea, so it is quite far. How long was my trip? I've been 4 times. Most of them have been about a week. I think my second or my third trip was 8 nights. But you got to remember, for me, Kid Rock, it's only like a 3-hour flight. So Gianni, yeah, okay. So 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. So I'm kind of sort of debating now. Let me just lose this screen. Okay. So the question is, would I recommend it? Absolutely. When will I be back? I don't know. Should I go this year? I don't know. Maybe I should toss a coin. Heads I'll go again this year. Tails I won't. So we'll see. Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, James, tease me, tease me.
But now, Kid Rock, thank you. I appreciate that. Good stuff. So, any other questions? If not, I will say thank you all. And who's on next tonight? By the way, I'm looking forward to the trip that I've got in April. I'm looking forward to going to New York. Oh yes, and Jacksonville. That'll be good. So, did you like that? Like that, Suzanne? Okay. Well, thank you all. I'll let you all get back to your day, and I will see you all around in the other chats. God bless. Thank you.